All right, guys, just want to make a quick video. I'm not going to stay on here too long. I got shit to do. I know everybody's freaking out about the markets dumping. You have to understand, we've been talking about this for a while. We understand why the markets are dumping. I encourage you guys to listen to even Rand Neuner this morning kind of talking about it. Trump's doing some big things in these markets. He's trying to bring countries back. He's trying to bring businesses back. He's making changes that every other politician on the planet was afraid to do. That creates fear. That creates uncertainty. Trump also has a plan. He wants to lower interest rates, and the only way to do that is to bring pain into these markets. So I think Trump, what he's doing is intentionally allowing the stock market. If you look at the stock market right now, down 800 points. Everybody's freaking out on CNBC. It's actually hilarious to watch. They've dug everybody out. They're all freaking out. Oh my God, oh my God. They can't figure out what's going on. They can't figure out that what Trump is trying to do here, and the only way to do it is to create a little bit of uncertainty, a little bit of fear into these corporations and investors so the Fed comes in and lowers interest rates. I'm not sure why I'm one of the only people who can see it. I mean, I know that Rand Neuner was talking about it today too. What does that mean? Well, we got Bitcoin at $78,000. Your altcoins getting pummeled. Am I afraid? I'm not afraid at all. The future is bright for crypto. The future is bright for altcoins. I don't think Trump is going to let this go too much longer. I think he has a certain level in mind of how long he wants to let it to dump. I think he kind of really wants the Fed to come in and lower interest rates. Could go another couple weeks. Maybe he'll let it go another couple months. I really can't see the stock market even dumping too much more. I mean, it's really kind of a throw the baby out with the bathwater event, what you see in markets. And here's Rand Neuner explaining a little bit of why we're seeing all this today, and just goes into Trump's master plan.
The national debt. You can see the U.S. has got $36 trillion in national debt. That's not the worst part of it. The worst part of it is that if you think about this debt, 36 trillion is the entire debt number. But over 25% of it, $9.2 trillion of this debt is maturing this year and needs to be refinanced. So just imagine that you've got the total US debt, which is this number over here, which is the 36 or 37 trillion. Of that debt, over 25% of that debt, which is $9.2 trillion, is up for refinancing. So imagine that you've got a debt. Imagine that your debt is $9,200 and you need to refinance your debt. The problem is that if Trump now needs to refinance this debt because he's in power and it's his administration that needs to finance this debt. If they're refinancing this $9.2 trillion worth of debt at today's interest, which is this interest over here, which is around 4.5%, just give or take. If they need to finance $9.2 trillion worth of debt at 4.5%, the reality is that the amount of strain that they're putting on the future cash flows of the United States, on the future growth of the United States, is absolutely crazy, because the US would have to pay 4.5% a year on 9.2 trillion dollars. That's like $500 billion in interest payments just on that debt. And so what Trump needs to do, he needs to reduce the interest rates so that he can refinance this debt.
Anyway, so that pretty much explained it better than me. Trump has kind of been going back and forth with Jerome Powell over lowering these interest rates. Jerome Powell's pretty much said, I'm not going to lower them. Trump said, I want you to lower them. He said no. And I think this is kind of Trump's way of basically crashing the markets. So they lower the interest rates and basically Trump can start rebuilding the economy. I'm not worried at all, guys. I know a lot of people out there are worried. They're freaking out. Like I've said in previous videos, if the bull market's over, that means the 4-year cycles are over. So we could be in a bear market for 3 months and then go right back bullish again, because the whole previous cycle thing is completely flushed down the toilet. But I don't think that's happening at all. We know what's crashing these markets. And that's why I say, like, there's certain things that crash the crypto markets that make me scared. FTX, BlockFi, the Luna scam, the meme coin scam. They make me scared because that's like a direct hit on crypto. That's like, oh my God, crypto's taking a hit. It's taking shots fired. And we don't know how it's going to end. We don't know what's going to happen. All that's happening right now is the stock market's crashing and risk assets are crashing because of tariffs and uncertainty in the economy, because Trump is intentionally trying to put uncertainty into the economy so we can get those interest rates lowered, and just the uncertainty with tariffs and bringing corporations back to America, car manufacturers. It's it's one of those things, guys. We've been going the same way for the past 40 years. The country's been bankrupt, in debt, printing money, trade. I mean, companies fleeing this country, building their cars in other countries, NAFTA, and it's been happening now for 40 or 50 years. And the only way to stop it is to you gotta just throw a grenade into it. It's the only way to stop it, and then you gotta rebuild it. Well, Trump threw a grenade in, it exploded, and now we're trying to pick up the pieces and start rebuilding. It's the only way to do it. And I totally agree with I totally agree with what he's doing. I've said before, if we go into the summer and we're at like a $60,000 Bitcoin, a $70,000 Bitcoin, I'll pretty much concede, okay, guys, we might have to sit this shit out for a year or two. But like I said, with the 4-year cycles completely flushed down the toilet, if that happens, we could go bearish for 2 or 3 months, then come right back. So my point is, I'm not selling anything. I'm happy with my Cardano, my Theta, my Bitcoin, my MicroStrategy, like everything I own. I'm happy. I know it's going to do very, very well in the future. I know once these tariffs die down, I know once the fear subsides in the market and people kind of chill the fuck out because everybody's freaking overly emotional. Once Trump comes out and he says tariffs are over, Jerome Powell comes out and he says he's lowering interest rates, which might not be for a couple months, I think you're going to see a complete U-turn in these markets, just like what we saw a couple weeks ago where Trump tweets something and the altcoins pump 80%. So I think that's going to happen. I think, I don't know when it's going to happen. It's going to take some time. If you listen to Rand Nooner's show, he kind of talks about it taking some time for it to happen. Maybe it will. Maybe it'll take a couple months. I don't freaking know. But I can tell you guys, I'm very, very bullish. The best thing to do is not pay attention to the markets. Like I always said, like go out for a hike, take on more work, go play with your kids or something like that. There's no point in just obsessing over these markets. And I'm going to make a video today. I probably won't even look at the markets for a couple days. Maybe I'll make a video at the end of the week. It's just not interesting to me right now because I know what's Trump doing. I know what Trump's doing. I see all the people freaking out, crying. Oh my God, it's over. What's Trump doing? Blah, 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 blah. But I know it's all short term. We have the most pro crypto administration in right now. We couldn't be asking for anything better. And the only reason we're dumping is because risk assets are dumping because the stock market's dumping. That's the only reason we're dumping right now, guys. If everything was cool in the stock market, we'd be at $100,000 Bitcoin right now. So with that said, I'm more bullish than ever. I trust Trump. I love everything he's done so far. We just got to give it some time. If you can't take the heat, sell all your crypto, get out of these markets. Maybe we'll get a dead cat bounce or something like that. You can sell all your crypto. I'm not selling anything, guys. I'm in these markets. I got nothing else to do. And I'm confident. I'm really confident. We've had 50% dumps in Bitcoin in bull markets. It's happened many, many times. We've had 50, 60% dumps in altcoins in bull markets before. It's all kind of par for the course. And this whole thing, the thing that's so crazy about it, this whole thing goes away when Trump just comes out and tweets, tariffs are over, I made a deal with Canada and Mexico. Jerome Powell comes out and he says, I might be lowering interest rates. This whole thing goes away, and then we go right back into a bull market again. So it really is crazy. I mean, the power of the presidency. But like I said, I'm not worried. Maybe I'll even buy some more crypto. I don't really know. It depends on what happens. But just hold strong. I think the dumbest thing you can be doing is selling. But if you can't take the heat, I always say, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. I'm in these markets. And really, I'm not going to make a strong assessment until we get to like middle end of summer as to if we're in a bear market or a bull market. Because yeah, you can say we're in a bear market right now, but we know why. It's not because like FTX collapsing, is because tariffs and uncertainty in the stock market dumping. So like I said, guys, I'm bullish. It's not worth obsessing on these markets. It is what it is. We're going to hit a bottom at some point, and then we're going to fly right back up again. Trump is all about the markets. He's all about the economy. So he knows he has to put in some misery to fix this economy, but he's not going to let it go too long because the last thing Trump wants to do is crash the economy and have to see recession fears and all that all over the news. He's not going to do that. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next week or two, this whole thing is kind of over. Trump comes out and says tariffs are done. The Fed comes out and says we're probably going to end up lowering the interest rates. Like, I'm just not. I just know, knowing Trump, being obsessed with him over the last 8 years, I kind of know how he operates at this point. And I know what he's doing right now is just something to kind of fuck with the markets so he can get what he wants from Jerome Powell. All right, guys, like and subscribe. Talk to you later.